Hello and welcome to the video. This is a very quick video to talk about a brand new radio that has just been released today by RadioMaster. This is it. It looks very different from the other radios that they've produced because it has this whacking great big screen at the bottom. Why does it have a whacking great big screen at the bottom? Why does it look different from every other radio they've made? Well, it's not running HTX. It's actually essentially an Android device in the bottom part here, with smaller gimbals at the top and relatively limited controls as well, designed for a slightly different use case than a lot of the stuff that we see here on the channel. Now, RadioMaster have been the darling for a big part of the hobby when it comes to using HTX powered radios, and they've been thinking about making a radio like this by the sound of it for quite a bit of time. In fact, we're trying to get HTX development team to create an HTX Android app that could run on here. And at the moment that isn't available, so they've actually created their own, and that's this main interface. Don't worry, we'll get into all the weeds about this in a little bit more detail in a moment. Now, radios like this are aimed at a slightly different market segment, as I've already mentioned. These aren't pure hobby grade radios because you tend to find them with bind and fly, ready to fly UAV systems. In fact, the last one that I had was, I think it was actually a rebadged SkyDroid device, and that was with that Han plane, if you remember that from a year or two ago. And they're very common because what it means is that rather than have your radio and then have some kind of separate ground station on a phone or a laptop by you, and I did that video recently where I showed how to set that up, it can all be set up inside this one device. So, as well as Android running this app, which basically is the equivalent of HTX on this to configure and set up your models, configure the outputs, assign switches and all those wonderful things, manage the ExpressLRS transmitter that's actually is part of this. You can also load things like the BeastFlight app, things like RotorFlight, things like Q ground control and other things too. So you can have all of the configuration stuff here at the bottom of the radio. And I understand that that kind of solution is very, very popular with those ready-to-fly UAV solutions and used an awful lot by even people like farmers in places like China. They use UAVs to monitor crops, monitor the livestock, and also larger UAVs to actually spray pesticides and food for the plants from the air as well. So having this one device where everything is set up is kind of really powerful. Because this is Android, of course, it also means that UAV manufacturers can take radios like this, design a little Android app, which isn't particularly tricky, and then have maybe 12 big buttons on here. One for takeoff, one for return to home and land, one for loiter, one for take a photo, one for take a video. You kind of get the idea. However, this radio has some other cute things in here as well. On the top, it has a HDMI input. Yes, you can actually see your HDMI FPV stuff here on the screen. It has a HDMI output so that you can then run that external screen from the radio if you want to kind of share information with people at the field or into a broadcast system. So this is actually really, really different. In terms of the headlines, again, this is running an Android operating system with the RadioMaster OS. It's actually Android 9.0 running RadioMaster's first RadioMaster OS app to control the radio. Built-in ExpressLRS, a single LR1121, so 250 milliwatts, 2.4 gig, or 868-900 megahertz, 16 channels. All of the mixing and custom curves, channel weights, offsets, expo, all that stuff is absolutely settable up via the application. X5 Hall effect gimbals are standard. It's AG01 Nano compatible if you wanted to use those. The touchscreen itself is 5.5 inch high definition, 1280 by 720, nice and bright and seems to be pretty good to read outdoors. Octa-core processor with 4 gig of RAM and 64 gig of storage. Again, on the top, as I'll show you in a little bit more detail in a moment, there is the direct FPV input, supports DJI, Walk-Snell, HD0 devices, all those things. Just open the camera app to view. HDMI output to mirror or extend the display. Mavlink pass-through, so you can put things like Q ground control, mission planner, anything that will run on Android on here and have all that telemetry pass through. The battery is built in. It's a 10,000 milliamp hour battery with PD fast charge connection at the bottom, and it has a nano external module bay as well as audio and video prompts. So if we look at the controls, there are potentially less than you would expect, because we have a little latching switch here on the left hand side. We have a 3-position switch. We have a roller with a nice firm central detent, which I love. We have another little latching switch, another 3-position, and this time it is a notched rotary control. No central detent, but lots of little detent all along the way, so handy for setting things like camera angles and stuff. On the top we have a whole plethora of inputs. The first one is we have a HDMI in. That means that you can show anything that you can get HDMI signal on the screen. Just go into the phone app and you can display it on the screen. So maybe it's an FPV feed, those kind of things. We have a headphone jack. We have a USB connection for data, we have a DSC connection, and we also have a HDMI out. Now that means that you can actually connect this to an external screen, and you can run that external screen to maybe share telemetry information or other bits and pieces. We have trims on the front of the radio itself, a 6-button connection, and then the only other 2 switches are hidden around here at the back. We have 2 3-position switches here, and then we have our miniature bay for modules or whatever, and we have the place where the actual joysticks live. When you're not using them, they're not at the front. At the bottom, underneath this connection, is just one thing, and that is the USB connection for charge only, as it says printed on the actual radio. To power on and use it, it's pretty standard. Press and hold the power button, and then it'll fire up. You have to press and hold it for a moment just to make sure that nothing is going to accidentally come on. There's a RadioMaster OS screen that's there, and this is basically waiting for Android to start at this point. And then when it does, we're going to get an Android background, everything will snap around, and then it'll automatically start the app that you use to then configure everything, called the RadioMaster AX app. And it'll start, go into the last thing. The voices on the moment feel very Chinesey. I'm sure they'll improve the voice packs over time. And then, I don't know if you can see this with the contrast, but as I move the sticks, you can see the sticks move each side. Bottom left-hand corner, we have what's going on with the individual channels. We have our timers. We also have the status of the individual switches, and also in the bottom right hand corner we have the position of the rotary control and also the 6th position as well. But this is actually kind of an Edge TX style radio setup alternative. And again, as I mentioned in the introduction, I think the idea with RadioMaster is they're really hoping that Edge TX create an Android app that can replace this. But we can go into the models, we can create new models, we can set up templates, we have the ExpressLRS configuration and setting, we can set up our sounds and Lua scripts, pretty standard stuff. We can actually then go in and look at the inputs, outputs, mixes, set up our dual rates, do things like channel settings. We can lock everything and we can go back to the home location, which is kind of this main screen. We can also, if we sweep in from the side, we can actually have a look at the operating system itself. We just clear all, close that down. Then this is an Android tablet and it works exactly as you'd expect. If you swipe down, then you have to kind of navigate everything as you would regular Android. There's no big surprises in here. Make sure if you're connecting to a flight controller that you have host turned on, is one of my quick tips for this in the playing that I've done here. Then scrolling from the bottom up, we have all of the apps that are currently loaded. I would like it if RadioMaster shipped it with more apps. Admittedly, this is a very new radio, but I believe they've got Rotaflight running on this, the Betaflight app runs on this, and they're working, as I said, with the GCS ground Q ground control for it to be on here as well. But if you want to view things like the HDMI input, go into the camera and then you'll get it on the screen. Although down here we have the RadioMaster app that will fire up, and then we're back to kind of where we were before. But because it's basically an Android app, we can do all the normal Androidy things. We can actually load different applications, configure stuff. And this is where the power of these kind of radios really come into their own. Now, RadioMaster are committed to Edge TX, and this is something of a toe in the water with this radio into a new segment of the market, as I've already talked about. Those kind of bind and fly systems that manufacturers make, but also those of us who like to mess around with things like RadioPilot and Mavlink telemetry and ground stations. This finally gives us a system that we can play with, that hopefully we can get some help and support around. I have tried to use these kind of radios in the past. Either they've been shipped with review things that I've looked at, like that Hyohan thing I mentioned before, but I've always struggled to get support and to get into the detail, because what I found is that although I would set the Android language to English, a lot of the app things would eventually turn into Chinese characters at some point, and I would just get lost, and trying to get support was almost impossible. So the idea of actually having a radio like this from someone like RadioMaster, who actually responds to customers, is really exciting. So for some pilots, they'll have just watched this video and gone, yeah, not for me. But there will be a minority who will be looking at this and rubbing their hands with excitement. Now, I'm potentially thinking about doing a series of how-to videos. So when the Q ground control stuff is fully supported, how you load that into the Android system, how you configure it with Express internally, how you would get the ground station here on the screen to basically give you that live ground station in the palm of your hand. That's a video potentially that I'm thinking of doing. And if you'd want me to do those kind of videos, do let me know, because it might be fun to actually get those videos made and to show you all of that functionality. But this is one of those radios that I think is that pebble in the water where the ripples are going to be far bigger than we expect. I can see lots of manufacturers using this as part of their bind and fly ready to fly systems and creating their own applications to go on here so that their UAVs are easy to control. But the community that we're all part of, where everyone likes to have a tinker and improve and constantly develop and introduce new technology, the fact that there's now an Android system on here that they can write applications for potentially means that this is the first crack in a door that's about to be kicked wide open when the community get their hands on it. So stay tuned. Again, if you're interested in me doing more videos and how-tos on this, do let me know, and let me know what you'd like to see. If there's enough interest, I'll create a whole playlist and show you how to do other things with this radio. But excited that RadioMaster have brought out something like this that I can play with this on. I've loved the idea of having a ground station in the palm of your hand. With the RadioPilot builds that I do here in particular, this would be a fantastic system to use with those kind of models, where I have a ground station on the screen and I can just watch everything happen as I'm actually flying. But RadioMaster assure me that although this is an Android device running their own app, what they're really interested in is Edge TX actually developing an Android version of their interface that would run on stuff like this. And if that happens, I'll definitely make a video about that too. So thanks for watching, stay tuned. And again, if you want me to make some more how-to videos on this stuff, do let me know, and let me know what you want to see. Thank you for watching my video. Check out the playlist, and adding Painless 360 to your search terms will help you find my content. If you haven't done so already, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps a lot. You can support the time I spend here answering questions and helping others by using the links in the video description.